day.
Well,
what happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris ask if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So because I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually kind of a sports show? It's syndicated.
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who are from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekly.
All right. Hello, West Virginia. We're back for more in the 304. Time to get it done in the 681. Time to start this 3-hour audio tour for Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026.
Metro News Hotline comes to you from the Salango Law Studios. Visit salangolaw.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Coop, I think yesterday I didn't thank our listeners. That was pretty rude.
That's on you.
It's pretty much on me. Hey, I appreciate everybody who tunes into the show on a semi-regular basis. We know we have, and if you're listening via the podcast, I'm really happy you're there as well. Hashtag 180 Club Forever. Wherever you're listening to the show today, inside the state of West Virginia or beyond the borders, just trying to get a read on what's going on back home. We hope you're having a good day. Weird weather day here in Charleston. It is 36 degrees. It's feeling kind of Bettis out there, a little Jerome Bettis-y out there. But it's, I don't know, I think I would describe it as slushy. Slushy.
This might be the first time I've ever seen the snow come down to melt the ice.
I know, it's crazy.
Very odd. So it was snowing, and I could watch the ice melt in real time as it was snowing. Now, I know it's because I think, and there's probably some eggheads out there that could correct me on this, but I think a lot of our snow had to do with the ground being so cold. And because I don't know that the air temperature was necessarily freezing. I don't know exactly how that worked, but it seemed like it was snowing and melting at the same time. Very odd kind of dynamic.
The password is slushy.
Yes.
Slushy. Did you hear Dave Allen say that he doesn't even like the Summer Olympics? He's not a Winter Olympic fan. He's not a Summer Olympic fan.
Yeah, they didn't have. They didn't have like coal car racing or something. He's not interested.
I guess not. He doesn't have Olympic fever. I don't really have Olympic fever either. Although the Olympics are really interesting when you get to this time of the year. By next week, we'll all be experts on stuff that we had no idea that we even cared about.
Where that discourse really gets in over at skis, no pun intended, is online. Like, I don't know what the new Twitter's like anymore because I haven't been on that cesspool in a while. But when Twitter was really humming and a lot of people hung out there and kind of communally watched sports and stuff like that, like suddenly everybody was like a curling expert or whatever. Well, the kind of straw you need in that brush is
I
get
know.
out there and you have to do it in a diagonal kind of pattern in order. It's like, what are we talking about here, man? We're like throwing these things on the ice. I mean, we can watch it if you want to, but there is no way that every single person out there is suddenly an expert in curling or whatever, like little micro faction of sport that suddenly everybody's talking about.
But there'll be something that'll happen, and in the Winter Olympics especially, there'll be something that'll happen very soon where you just turn your TV on randomly, or you'll be doom scrolling through all of the channels that are carrying all the Winter Olympic events, and you'll see something you don't understand, but you'll be watching it because the United States is involved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Then that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't do that as much as I used to when I was younger. Like, I used to, like, I would get sucked into something because I would say, well, you got to see if we win this one, or whatever. But, there comes a point where, like, do I need to see, like, competitive kayaking or whatever this is? Not necessarily.
And there are some events that I'll have to get oriented on what channels have what events. Right?
Oh, yeah, they always do that.
Yeah, this is where the hockey is going to be. It's going to be on X channel. You know what? Before the Olympics start, I'll get that all figured out.
I am really going to consider Winter Olympics doesn't work out for me formatically because we have too much stuff that's going on. We have the girls tournament, all kinds of stuff. We have stuff that's coming up here. But I'm really interested in maybe getting this Summer Olympics on the radio. It's offered to me every year, every 4 years. Every time they offer it, they have it. Now it's going to be in the U.S. this time.
Yeah, LA.
It's going to be on the West Coast, which should be pretty good for because they don't make you carry it. It's not like you carry it all day on the radio and all day they're checking in. What there usually is there's like a show that comes on at like 8 o'clock at night, and then they'll have like the highlights for 3 hours or whatever. But that means there'll be a lot of live stuff.
That's good.
So I'm thinking it's the first time I've ever done it, but I'm thinking about maybe carrying some Summer Olympics on the radio the next coming Summer Olympics.
I forgot about that. The time difference in this era of social media.
Yeah, when it's in another country, it's all highlight shows that you're running at night. And it sounds kind of neat sometimes. Like, I think it would be kind of nice to hear some of that stuff on the radio because I think it would sound pretty good. But at the same time, most of that stuff has been put to bed by, half a day by that point.
One quick sidebar on this. Today in the Sound of Sports, today is the anniversary of the opening ceremonies of the Winter Olympics in Sapporo, Japan in 1972. That was the first Olympics in Asia. So I was looking at some stuff last night, and I had completely forgot about this. John Denver wrote a song that was the theme of the Winter Olympics of 1972 for NBC.
Really?
Yeah, and I couldn't really find a really good version of it that was quality enough to play on the show. It's called like Victory of Peace, okay? And so he wrote this song, and so you see it on the open animation, and I listened to a version. I completely forgot about that.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Kind of forgot about that. I don't know. You're a technical wizard. If you see it, maybe we can clean it up and play just a little bit of it. But I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I can't really get too involved in an Olympic event that I already know the results of.
Yeah, that's what you always go up against on the radio side of things.
Now, hockey, if I read the story about the hockey and something spectacular happens, I'll hang in for that. And maybe I'll DVR that kind of stuff. Oh, I wanted to ask you about this, too. And trust me, folks, we've got more stuff. We got so much stuff in the show today that's not the Olympics, okay? But I did want to ask you, were you surprised when you heard this story today about Lindsey Vonn? That Lindsey Vonn is going to race anyway? She's got a torn ACL, and she's going to participate in the Olympics this weekend? Coop, and by the way, we've got our sports injury expert, Will Carroll. I put up the bat signal for an emergency emergency visit today, so he's going to be on with us in about an hour. Coop, this is not the knee that she has the torn ACL in is her good knee, okay? She's already had the other knee replaced. What sport do you think takes the biggest beating on a body?
Like in general?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
Know.
We've seen, we've had like a parade of pro wrestlers come through here that are just bags of skin.
Yeah.
Right?
Buff Bagwell came in here with his neck fused together.
Right.
So, it's hard to look at that guy. And frankly, was a very nice guy for a guy that was walking around with his neck fused together. It's hard to look at that and not be like, man, there is a lot of damage your body goes through with doing that. Whatever you want to call it, stunt work or whatever it is, there's a lot of damage that those people put themselves through. As far as like what we would count like, outside of sports entertainment,
I'm just thinking,
don't know.
What about, we hear so much about CTE with NFL players, and we've had a few come through here. And, we see some of these cases of guys that are really dealing with a lot of things. They don't even recognize their friends or family after 50.
Here's my question about football. And there's no question that for 3.5 seconds every play that it's the most violent sport in
it's a car crash.
There's no question.
Yeah.
But there's also like 7 minutes of action a game, like when you condense it all down. Is there a sport that okay, so maybe the 3 seconds isn't as bad, but the wear and tear over the long course of a game is actually harder on your body than what that would be? I don't know. In some ways, you're certainly not getting your head kicked in all the time in soccer, but as far as endurance or something goes, I can't imagine many sports. But what about hockey? Hockey is like football, but you're playing the entire time.
And the other thing is, if you play hockey long enough, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
You're going to get hurt.
And you're skating. Of course, you have the zones and stuff you're skating, but you're basically skating the whole time. There's no plays. There's no stopping or anything. I don't know. That's a good question. But the football thing I always thought was a very interesting thing because there's no question for 3.5 seconds every play that it is extraordinarily violent. But, man, in actuality, the action of football is so short.
Yeah. Look at but then on the flip side, look at somebody like Carl Lee. If Carl walked in here today, you wouldn't know that he had played in the NFL for years and years, right?
Yeah.
He's got all his wits about him. He's still playing golf.
Hey, when you play a lockdown corner, nobody throws at you, right?
That's true, too.
That's true. You don't have to tackle anybody because nobody throws at you.
What would they say about Deion Sanders? He never had to tackle anybody because they never threw the ball to his side of the field.
Which was a good thing for Deion.
Yeah, you're right about that. A couple other things from basketball today. Did you see where Jason Williams is going to play in the NBA Celebrity Game?
No, is he really?
Yeah,
I
man.
missed that.
He's on the team that's going to be coached by Anthony Anderson.
I must have just missed that because I was looking through some of that stuff. I was like, oh, what's this? They have the teams for – and frankly, man, it's so confusing anymore. Like, what are they even doing?
I don't even know any of these people.
What are these teams and what are they for? Why are we looking at this?
Who cares,
And
right?
I saw all these graphics about that. And I was like, okay, I don't really care that much.
Yeah, I looked at the
That's interesting. Jay Will, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's going to be in town here in a couple of weeks. So I was looking at the rosters, And Jason Williams is the only person listed on the rosters and the coaching staffs with his nickname. Okay,
Nice.
It's like Jason White Chocolate Williams. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Now there could be. There's been more than two. There's been 3 or 4 Jason Williamses in the NBA. So there could be a reason for that.
I don't think. Yeah, but they specifically called it white chocolate, so we know who that is.
Oh, that's good.
We
Well,
know
no, I
that.
know but maybe that's why they put his nickname on there.
Yeah.
So they're not like, oh, maybe it was that other Jason Williams.
Well, it got us talking.
Yeah,
right? It
exactly.
got us
Man, I think that's
talking.
good news, man. I think
that's good news too. Did you see where James Harden wants to be traded?
I mean, what is it today and in a while?
So I'm watching the game last night. I forget who the Clippers were playing, and I'm watching. I knew the game was coming up and it was going to be a good game, so I tuned in, and he's not playing. So he's missed like 2 games in a row. The trading deadline is Thursday. So let me ask you this: how many professional athletes have ever been in a situation where they want to be traded from L.A. to Cleveland?
I don't know, man. Doesn't he want to be traded every other season?
I guess so.
More than anything,
But didn't he basically force his way to L.A.?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, this is all the players now, and this is one of the bigger issues I have with the NBA sometimes. And the players run like, not generally speaking, like, you know, they're pretty buttoned up on things that they say and don't say and stuff like that. But man, when it comes to like pushing their chips to the table, they control everything now.
Yeah.
If you want traded, you're going to get traded, and some of these guys just demand trades all the time. I don't know. It's kind of hard.
But this is like This is not like the most James Harden thing ever. The Clippers have been the hottest team in the league for like 2 months.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and so suddenly a guy who's averaging 25 plus and dishing out assists and making all of his teammates better, it's like, I'm late for the door, man. You got to trade me to Cleveland. What? It's just
I don't know. He just wants to go get another ring, I guess.
Oh,
wait.
Oh, 2 other quick things. Do you know what we'll be talking about 1 week from today?
What's that?
We are 1 week from today. 1 week from today, pitchers and catchers are playing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Seahawks Super Bowl parade.
The question of the day is about the Super Bowl. The question of the day.
But yeah, I know. Believe me, I know that that I'm getting restless, man. I need some baseball. I need that background noise. I need the active follow. I need all of that.
Pitchers and catchers report a week from today. A week from today.
And we have the World Baseball Classic this year.
I can give you the dates on that. Pitchers and catchers report February 11th. The rest of the roster reports on February 15th. World Baseball Classic begins on March 5th. The finals are on March 17th. The baseball season opener, Giants and the Yankees, is March 25th on Netflix. The traditional openers are the next day. That is March 26th.
The season's
so
opening on Netflix?
Write that down. Yes.
Wow.
Is that the most streaming
it's
thing
the most
ever?
2026 thing ever, yeah.
Yeah, so that's happening. The other thing I'd forgot about until last night. So the Seahawks and the Patriots are playing in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara this weekend. It's been in all the papers. I'd forgotten about this until it started happening last night. They had availability for the stars of the players on the teams, and we're going to hear some of that in the Sound of Sports. But I forgot about all like the sidebar stories. You know, it's like, hey, availability for players in the Super Bowl. Let's get our kid reporters out there.
Yeah,
kid reporters, comedians, all that kind of jazz. I forgot about that. Because here we are. I mean, we've been talking about this same game for almost 2 weeks. We're into that phase of like, okay, we're finished. We're talking about the hardcore football. Now let's get down to the stuff that people will laugh
You know what we should think about, and maybe we should bandy this about and then approach him on it next year. We should try to get Brandon to do something for us on because he goes to the Super Bowl every year. He's always on Radio Row on those things, and he's our guest. You know, he always comes on and talks about it. We should implore him. I don't know, drop some Hotline gear somewhere for us, or, you know, like try to get like one of the players to put on one of our hats or something. I mean, maybe Brandon could work as like a kind of an undercover operative
Super Bowl
for us.
Radio Row. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. I have some of my old friends that are still in the market in Tampa are covering the game. And that's the thing. If you're in an NFL market, you can still go to Super Bowl Radio Row. They're trying to get as much publicity as they possibly can. So I saw that they had table 130 130.
Nice.
So there's at least 130 stations.
We should go next year.
We say that every year, but this would have probably been the most expensive year to go. Can you imagine trying to find hotel rooms in San Francisco for this year's Super Bowl?
Maybe we pick one on the East Coast, and we got to try to get out to one.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of that, let me get the question of the day out. Then we'll get a news update from Jeff Jenkins. So, Coop, you're handling this whole Seahawks thing very well, don't you think?
I mean, thank you.
I think you're handling it very well.
I'm not much of a smack talker.
Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, you're not a real smack talker.
Not really.
No, not until Monday, right?
I mean, everybody's confident after the game's over. Sure.
Yeah, that's true. So here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. What is your favorite Super Bowl moment, and why? What is your favorite Super Bowl moment, and why? And who are you rooting for in Super Bowl 60, the Patriots or the Seahawks? Did you realize that this is a very rare year where there are no WVU or Marshall related storylines to these teams?
That is interesting. There's always something usually, huh?
Normally there is, but this year there is not. And so you've got the Seahawks on the West Coast, you got the Patriots on the East Coast. I just want to know who people are rooting for in this game.
I got the WVU connection is Geno Smith 1 year removed from his opportunity to get a ring.
That's a stretch, man. That's real. That's not going to impact.
Or how about this? I have an Owen Schmidt Seahawks jersey up in the conference room.
Owen Schmidt, okay. Owen Schmidt how long was he with the Seahawks?
I don't know, man. It seemed like you wanted a local connection. I was just trying, man.
That's a stretch.
Yeah,
that's a stretch.
I agree.
Okay, well, you know what? That's something you can bring up in a conversation during a commercial.
I'm going to break in here like Mission Impossible and take that jersey one of these days.
You can try to bring that up during a commercial break in the game, and then somebody will say, "Shh, I'm trying to watch a commercial." That's funny. I forgot about that. Owen Schmidt played for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Exactly right. I forgot about that. Okay, there you go. But no, that was
a few years ago.
Yeah, no. So to respond, text those in 304-TALK 304-304-8255-304. Tweet me. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY. All right, Jeff, what's your favorite Super Bowl moment? What's your favorite Super Bowl moment?
Favorite Super Bowl moment? Wow, the one that pops into my mind is Fulton Walker's return for a touchdown. If you want WVU connected, right? His return against the Redskins, playing for the Dolphins.
Right.
Did
you know that there have been 10 Super Bowl kickoff returns for touchdowns? Walker had the first. And normally when you return a kickoff or a touchdown in an NFL game, your probability of winning that game is between 70 and 75%. 7 of the 10 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the Super Bowl were scored by the losing team.
Yeah,
including Fulton Walker.
Yeah, including Fulton Walker. Yeah, that's and another. I was a Cowboy fan back in the day. Not really an NFL fan. Don't have a favorite team now, but the Cowboys went over the Broncos back in the day. I enjoyed that. So,
what do you got in the news? What's happening?
All right, at the website, Dave, the ice is freed up on the Ohio River. Commerce is happening again.
Nice.
Okay, at the Willow Island Lock and Dam. So they're locking through there, and after the ice stopped it for almost a week. Also at the website, a couple of legislative stories today. One of those, right now, when you hire a county school superintendent, that superintendent has to live in the county or in the contiguous county, the one right beside you. This bill would relax that a little bit, allow county school superintendents to live a little further away, just because the pool is shrinking for county school superintendents. We've got that. And then we had some tragedy here in the Kanawha Valley. A train hit a person, killed them earlier today in Kanawha City, 11 o'clock today.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Jeff, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. We'll take a quick break. We're coming back with more in a minute.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
On the next State of Minds.
People appreciate cool tattoos and they appreciate good tattoos. It's a way to make yourself different.
What do you think would fit me?
I think a ninja. A ninja with two swords.
Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. West Virginia in line to receive more than $100 million a year for 5 years for rural health care initiatives. The House of Delegates passed a pair of bills today in connection with the money. One of them relaxes state purchasing rules. House Health Committee Chairman Evan Worrell says the state and federal government will be watching to make sure the funds are spent correctly.
The Department of Health has their own purchasing rules and guidelines that they follow already. So they'll still follow those rules. This just exempts them from the Department of Purchasing.
A bill dealing with requirements for second bucks that are taken by deer hunters is dead at the State House, defeated in a House committee by a voice vote. The proposed regulations had to do with an average size of antlers and other requirements. Wood County Delegate Dave Falgan, who voted for the bill, says it's absolutely a decision the legislature should be making.
The biggest argument against this before was that the commission should be making the rules. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I was elected to come here and represent the people in my area, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to represent them.
Metro News West Virginia Outdoors' Chris Lawrence writes more about the bill's defeat, a story posted this afternoon at WVMetroNews.com. The locks at the Willow Island Lock and Dam on the Ohio River near St. Mary's working again. There's been enough thawing and ice removed to allow the chamber to properly operate. The lock reopened earlier today for the first time since last Wednesday. There are more than a dozen vessels on either side waiting to pass through. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence, and the great outdoors is coming inside. Join me at the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. More than 100,000 square feet of fishing gear and hunting supplies, outfitters and charter boats, ATVs, campers and tractors, guns, knives, and much more, all under one roof. An outdoorsman's paradise. The West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th in Morgantown, a WVRC media event.
Managing your money and planning for the future can be challenging. Huntington Bank can help. I'm Matt Harris, a local Huntington Wealth Team member right here in West Virginia. We help people like you navigate the market and your life changes. Join us for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline as Huntington Bank's local wealth management team provides insight on this week's hottest market topics and how they might impact you. Be sure to catch Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Metro News Hotline.
A former pastor charged with multiple sex crimes in multiple counties in West Virginia will not go on trial in Lewis County until later this year. John Radcliffe was in court today in Weston. The judge agreed to move the case until June. An Elkview man is scheduled to go on trial later this month in a quadruple murder case. Gavin Smith was in court today in Charleston for a pretrial hearing. He was granted a second trial after his 2022 conviction because of a mistake in jury instructions. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Veterans, plan ahead to ensure your loved ones are protected at the end of your life. Include a copy of your discharge papers with your will. Apply for VA life insurance. Write your healthcare decisions in a living will. Review survivor's benefits. Explore VA burial options with a pre-need application. Don't wait. Visit va.gov/plan-ahead to learn more.
All right, welcome back to the show. We have got so many interesting people on the show today. So we've got Dave Bryan, Steelers Depot. That's coming up at 4:06. Will Carroll from the outstanding, if you're into learning more about sports injuries, his Substack, Under the Knife, is excellent. And like many Substacks, there's many, many levels of it. If you just want to get the free one, it's excellent. So Will's going to be on here in about an hour or so. We're going to talk a little bit about this news today that Lindsey Vonn. Coop, how old do you think Lindsey Vonn is?
What is she? Man, what is she, 40?
She's 41.
Okay, yeah.
She's 41. So she's going to take part in the Winter Olympics in skiing with a torn ACL. And that's on the good knee, not the one that was replaced.
That's crazy,
okay?
man.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that and just sports injuries in general. So if you got any sports injury questions you want for one of the experts, and the expert's not me, trust me, send those in, 304-TALK, 304, 304-8255-304. We'll get into that. What do you think about this? Lindsey Vonn's going to try to compete in the Olympics. Now, I don't really give her much of a shot, do you? I mean, she's going to be competing against competitors who are 100% healthy, who are peaking in perfect health.
Yeah, I was going to say that she didn't dominate the last time she went out there.
No.
I think that she medaled, I think she ended up getting a silver. So I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I think this was I think the reason that she's doing this is she considers this her swan song, right?
Sure.
Yeah, and so I think that I don't want to say she just wants to be there, but she's extraordinarily talented. But it's amazing that she's going through this level. And sometimes Will comes on and he surprises us because he'll say things like, well, you put a brace on that thing a certain way and you have it another way, and frankly, there's no difference between having an ACL and not having an ACL or whatever. I mean, Will always has some great insights into that. So I'll be looking forward to see what he says.
Yeah, she said today when she revealed this that she was going to compete that she doesn't have any discomfort in practice, but wants to know and is anxious to find out what happens when she really tries to go down the hill for real.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I mean, in her mind, it's probably she's only doing one event too, right?
Yeah.
If I remember. Yeah. So in her mind, it's one more event. You get over the hump. I can see it. I mean, I don't know that I could do it, but I can see it.
The other thing we'll ask Will about is, and Coop, you might want to maybe get your pencil out and take some notes here and get it to your Seahawk pals. We're going to be talking a little bit about Drake May's right shoulder.
Okay.
So, that's another thing. Things are so magnified as we get closer to the game. I have seen that play where he has a keeper around the left end where he takes a bad shot from the Broncos about 50 times already. And every time I watch it, it's like, I don't know. He looks like he's really hurt here. So, would he be playing if the Patriots had a game? If they'd had a game last weekend, would he have played in the game?
One of the problems that I have as being a Seahawk, it's not my problem, but one of the things I'm running into as a Seahawk fan, because I do choose my media, I've been listening to a lot of interviews, and not all of them are from this week. Some of them are throughout the season and stuff like that. But just listening to some of Seattle's defensive players, defensive coordinators, some of the podcasts that break down their defense and stuff like that. So, unfortunately, it's giving me this sort of feeling. It's like, man, these guys are basically clairvoyant. I mean, they are so good out there. Like, if you break down the AFC Championship game and you see where really Matthew Stafford was having a great game, and where he didn't have great games were on like fourth down, and you're like, well, of course you play better defense on fourth down and stuff like that. There were these crazy magical plays that the Seahawks defense made. Individual plays where guys were recognizing patterns and recognizing things and jumping routes that was not in the call. They were like peeling off of the coverage that was in the call for the defense because the individuals were recognizing the play like, oh, no, you're not throwing that on me. So they had 4 fourth down conversion attempts that the Rams had. They had 3 knockdown passes. That's because the Seahawks were reading that stuff individually at a player level. That's the kind of thing gets me excited, man.
That's good stuff. And how these teams were built is kind of interesting too, because the Pats went out and they bought players. Okay, they bought a bunch of guys, and the majority of them have panned out. The Seahawks really didn't do that. I mean, the Seahawks have drafted well. The majority of the money that they spent in the offseason, the $100 million, that was for Darnold, right? And then just added little pieces here and there. So, it's going to be a really interesting game. It's going to be an interesting game.
They did such an amazing job in those years that Geno were there on drafting defense, basically, especially that defensive line and things like that. Man, they are just so good.
Let me get a couple more responses to our question of the day, then we'll do the Sound of Sports. So question of the day, it's sponsored by Salango Law. Now get this, as many as 130 million Americans are expected to tune in for Super Bowl 60. With 80% of the population, 4 out of every 5 Americans plan on watching some part of the game, okay? So the question of the day is, what is your favorite Super Bowl moment and why? And who are you rooting for in Super Bowl 60, the Patriots or the Seahawks? What's your favorite Super Bowl moment and why? Who are you rooting for to win Super Bowl 60, the Patriots or the Seahawks? Text those in, 304-TALK, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEK. L-E-Y. Let me get a couple of responses in here. Let's see. Oh, here's one from Matt in Utah driving around. He says, Dave, my favorite Super Bowl moment is last year when the Eagles beat the snot out of the Chiefs and it ended their reign of terror. Like 99.9% of the country, I'm rooting for the Seahawks. I don't think it's that lopsided. But I tell you what, if Seattle won, the enemy of the enemy is my friend.
I love the bandwagon. Come on, guys. Yeah, come on over, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of room on the bandwagon.
Come on over, guys. I am happy to have you.
Let's see, 304-886. Dave, Super Bowl 35, because Baltimore got a Super Bowl before Indianapolis. John in Martinsburg. Shots fired. Let's see, 681-981. Dave, no longer in the 240. John Riggins, TD run to ice Super Bowl 17. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. That was a good run.
Real briefly, you know what Super Bowl play that I remember reacting to strongest and may be one of my best memories of the Super Bowl? Randomly, because I didn't care about either of the team. The Rams and the Titans, that Super Bowl where I can't even remember. McNair had the pass over the middle that fell a yard and a half short of the goal line as time was expiring, and it would have won. That was a fantastic game. I didn't care about either one of those teams, but I was literally up in my living room, like jumping up and down and screaming and all kinds of crazy stuff because it was just so dramatic. That was a good Super Bowl, man, and that was a great final drive.
There's a lot of Steelers stuff. One of the plays, though, has to be the James Harrison return.
For sure.
I mean, that was a 14-point swing. It was like either he was going to score a touchdown or time was going to run out, and he got into the end zone when it looked like Arizona was going to score a touchdown there at the end of the first half in Tampa. Let's get into some of the Sound of Sports stuff. Start with the hockey. Last night in Pittsburgh, the Sens slowed down the surging Pens 3-2. Ottawa's Claude Giroux scored with just over 5 minutes remaining in the third period. That was the game winner as the Penguins' 6-game winning streak snapped. They took a long look at this goal, Giroux approached, and he was tripped by Erik Karlsson, then went hard into the post. The net lifted off the moorings, but it was ruled that it was a good goal because the puck crossed the line first.
Batherson. Pass deflects off net. The swatted at by Stutzler. Giroux settles it. Runs into Shelovs and scores. What's the ruling?
Well, he went in hard off that post.
The puck did go into the net.
I don't know what they're going to say on this one.
Asti with the headset on, presumably just making sure everything checks out here.
And it turned out to be a good goal. Giroux, the former Flyer, is a Pens killer. Last night he tied Alex Ovechkin for the most points against the Pens by an active player. 23 goals, 78 points in 72 games against the Penguins. The Pens visit the Islanders tonight. Speaking of the Islanders in Washington last night, the Caps scored a pair of goals 31 seconds apart in the second period in a 4-1 victory over the Islanders. Anthony Barilove banged in the second of those two goals in just over a half a minute.
Baby Anna, born just a couple days ago, already has a keepsake memento. Down low there, a great look for Beauvillier. Ovechkin saw him at the post. Beauvillier, stop attempt, score!
With his left pad, and here comes Beauvillier, little shake and bake. He moves a little bit, and there's the puck coming off. And underneath the pad, the left pad of Riddick.
All right, the Capitals have won 3 straight after going almost 2 months without consecutive wins. Washington has points in 5 of their last 6 games. They'll face the Flyers in Philly tonight. Football now, Super Bowl 60, Sunday in Santa Clara. The Stars are out for both the Pats and the Seahawks last night. Seattle's Jackson Smith-Njigba has emerged as a major talent this year. And the former Ohio State star had these ideas about his development since leaving the Buckeyes for the NFL.
Truly great receiver. It's hard to be a jack of all trades like you, whether it's the route running, the hands, or the contested catches. How have you put all these things together this year to really become one of the best receivers in the NFL?
Honestly, I know that I had that in me, from the start, and that's something that I've worked on and tried to develop, since I was a young kid. So, and then how I envision myself is, being an all-around player, like you said, jack of all trades, and just getting the job done. So, that's my motivation, and that's what I want to be, and, that's where we are.
One of the keys to the game on Sunday will be the Pats defensive back Christian Gonzalez's ability to neutralize Jackson Smith-Njigba. They are expected to be matched up a lot in Super Bowl 60. Gonzalez says he's doing his best not to be overwhelmed by the moment.
At the end of the day, it's football. Been playing this game since I was 5 years old, and, right now just enjoying it. We've worked real hard to get where we are, and just enjoying it with the guys. Have had a lot of fun playing with this team, and everybody's excited to be here, and enjoying it, having fun, and being locked in when in moments we need to be, and then when it's moments like this, get to just enjoy it, see everything, and go out there and be ready for Sunday.
College basketball now. After a 2-game road trip, Marshall's back home at the Cam tomorrow night to host Southern Miss. The Herd's 14-8 overall, 6-4 in the Sun Belt, and just 1 game back in the loss column behind first place Troy. Marshall's coming off a road win at Arkansas State last Saturday. Corny Jackson says he's had different players stepping up in recent games.
We have the next man up mentality. State Kai came in and gave us a huge momentum shift, gave us opportunity, helped us get an opportunity to win the game, and then obviously at Arkansas State, Wilson had a huge game and so did Shamari. So it's about staying ready. And those guys, I said it a few weeks ago, Wilson's shot wasn't falling like it normally falls, but he stayed in the gym. He started doing other things, hitting the glass, playing with energy. And the basketball gods rewarded him down in Arkansas.
Marshall's been taking care of the ball and shooting well from long range. The Herd leads the Sun Belt in assist-to-turnover ratio and with 17 assists per game. Marshall's also making a career best, a conference best, 10 threes per game, and they top the Sun Belt, hitting nearly 37% of their attempts from outside the arc. In the Big 12 last night in Lubbock, great game between Kansas and Texas Tech. Darren Peterson of KU scored 19 in a season-high 35 minutes. His only 2 field goals in the second half were huge. Both late threes in the game's final 90 seconds. The first that tied a game at 61 as Texas Tech blew a 10-point lead after halftime, and the next one with 44 seconds left to lift the Jayhawks to a 64-61 win over the Red Raiders.
Under 90 seconds. They find Peterson, launches, hits, oh boy. Everybody on their feet in Lubbock. Peterson buries it. Wow.
There you go. So that's a good win for Kansas. Since losing to WVU in Morgantown, KU has won 6 straight. Here's Jayhawks coach Bill Self on Peterson's late-game heroics.
Well, he hadn't made many tonight, and he was just kind of out there, and you know, he's got something that I guess you're born with and can't teach. He's got just an unbelievable ability to raise it when it counts the most, raise his level when it counts the most, and that's what he did tonight. I mean, those 2 plays he made were obviously the 2 biggest plays of the game for us.
All right, WVU, by the way, will be back in action, men's action, on Thursday night at Cincinnati. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with more in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Grant Maltba, project manager with CEC. Ever dreamt of working hands-on with wildlife? As a bat biologist at CEC, I do just that. Every day is a new adventure, tackling unique challenges and helping clients meet their Endangered Species Act requirements. It's not just rewarding for me, but it boosts our local economy and aids bat conservation too. Want to make a difference in the field? Join us at CEC. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Managing your money and planning for the future can be challenging. Huntington Bank can help. I'm Matt Harris, a local Huntington Wealth Team member right here in West Virginia. We help people like you navigate the market and your life changes. Join us for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline as Huntington Bank's local wealth management team provides insight on this week's hottest market topics and how they might impact you. Be sure to catch Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Metro News Hotline.
Metro News Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop Thoron.
Coming to Parkersburg High School, February 6th and 7th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on Metro News Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download Metro News Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thoron.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
Voice of West Virginia.
All right, welcome back to the show. Relatively short segment here. Coop, we had so many things going on in the program yesterday that one of the things we didn't get to was the fact that former WVU guard Javon Carter got traded over the weekend. Did you see that? Well, he didn't get traded. He got cut. The Bulls cut him. And in a related story, the Bulls, the T-Wolves, and the Pistons have agreed today on a multi-year deal that sends Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley to the Bulls, Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric to the Pistons, and the Pistons also receive a first-round protected swap from Minnesota in the deal. Minnesota didn't receive a player, but they were able to get Mike Conley off their roster. A couple of things about this. The NBA trading deadline is now about 48 hours away. There's probably a pretty good chance that Javon Carter is going to be added to some roster. You know, he'll probably be added to the roster. Let me ask you this, though. How much money do you think Javon Carter's made in his NBA career? He's 30 years old.
I feel like maybe we didn't do that all that long ago.
Yeah, we have.
But I know also that he's done fine. Good job, young man.
He's just made a little under $30 million.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought $30 million was the number. So yeah, that's what it's like to be part of to just be part of the crew, right? Yeah. I mean, you don't have to make all-star teams or anything else. That's just for being on a contract.
He's an effective second-line point guard, a defensive-minded point guard.
I was just talking to Carl Lee last night, and he was like, man, the best job in the world you could get right now is to be drafted in the first round and bust.
That's interesting.
Your first contract gets you long enough to get vested. You get health care for the rest of your life. You're part of the pension plan. And you can check out under 30, man, and do whatever you want to do and have generational wealth. Not a bad plan.
You think Javon Carter's got swag from all the teams he's played for? Because he played for Memphis.
Everybody's different, right?
Brooklyn, Phoenix, Milwaukee, Chicago. Am I missing anybody? I don't know.
It's interesting on a cat like that because there's some guys that like Carl doesn't have anything except for Vikings gear. Of course, he only played for a hot minute.
That's why I always poke him about being a Saint.
But I wonder somebody that more or less has made a career, playing a season or two with different teams. I do wonder if you keep some of that stuff, or maybe only the places you really enjoyed. How
about this? Here's one more for you. How much money do you think Mike Conley's made?
Oh Lord, some factor over 30.
Try $290 million.
I was going to say a factor of 10, so I would have been pretty close.
Has there ever been a point in his career? He's made almost $350 million playing a game. Has there ever been a point where he was a first-team All-NBA player?
I'll be honest with you. I thought he played in the 90s.
He's 38.
When you were like in Michael Conley, I'm like, what? Didn't he play with like Shaq and Barkley? I don't know.
Let's take a break. We're coming back in a minute.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
We're Pan
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
All right, that's it for the first hour. We'll take a quick break for news at the top. When we come back, a very interesting day on Wall Street. We'll run down the details on that. Reset our question of the day. Who are you rooting for in Super Bowl 60, and what's your favorite Super Bowl moment? And we'll talk some Steelers, too. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a... I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, yeah, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous. Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
I know.
And you were watching the Lions game on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
What happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So
because I'm not a I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show? It's syndicated.
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honor's had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And listen, that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station. I had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who are from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour.
Navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more.
From a Mountain State point of view, Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304
888-304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hour number 2, How Do You Do? Metro News Hotline, keeping you company in West Virginia every weekday afternoon on the Metro News Radio Network right up until 6 o'clock. Hope you're having a good one. We got a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour. In fact, our next 2 hours are going to be very, very busy. We'll take a look at the final numbers from Wall Street today. We're in earnings season, but I tell you what, there was a lot of action before the 4 o'clock bell struck. So we'll take a look at the final numbers here in a minute. Some West Virginia-related stocks, some interesting movement in the energy prices, Bitcoin too. We'll reset our question of the day. It concerns Super Bowl 60, which is coming up this weekend. Seahawks favored over the Patriots and have been basically favored by 4.5 points ever since the line was set following the conference championship games. And speaking of the NFL, we'll talk to Dave Bryan from Steelers Depot here in just a minute as Mike McCarthy continues to put together his new staff. And there's still a lot of questions, obviously, with a new group coming into the Steelers. Who are the coordinators? There's a little drama about the offensive coordinator situation. We'll get into that. Still talking about trying to read the tea leaves on what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. We'll get into that with Dave Bryan here in just a minute. Oh, and there's some legal news today. Remember Ryan Kennedy and the DK Metcalf situation? There's been an interesting turn on that, literally within the last hour or so. We'll talk about that. A little bit later on in this half hour, we've got the entertainment report. Will Carroll, our sports injury expert, is going to swing by. That'll be in about a half an hour to talk about the developing story this afternoon regarding the American Olympian Lindsey Vonn, who suffered a torn ACL in one of the final lead-ups to the Winter Games that open up this weekend in Italy. She says today she's still going to compete. She's going to wear a brace and compete in the highly competitive sport of skiing with a torn ACL. We're going to talk a little bit about that from the injury perspective. That'll be coming up at 4:33 today. A little bit later on in the hour, we'll open up the On the State file, have the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports. Also, we wanted to do a segment about this last week, but we had to delay it until today. Rusty Webb, the counselor, is going to join us after 5 o'clock to talk a little bit about contracts between schools and athletes, and are they binding? Are they binding? There's been a couple of interesting situations regarding that. The Duke quarterback who had to pay his way out of the Blue Devil football program, most likely on his way to Miami. The quarterback at Washington who wanted to go to LSU and now looks like he's going to stay at UW on the West Coast. And we want to get the counselor's take on that. That'll be at 5 o'clock. By the way, Coop, did you know Rusty is joining us by the phone today? He's actually on vacation. He's breaking away from his vacation to give us a couple of minutes today at 5 o'clock.
I'm so glad. I know that we just couldn't get by otherwise.
That's true.
I'm glad that he's going to be on the phone for us.
Yeah, so you can go to drop by at 5 o'clock. We'll play in or out at 5:25. Mike Asti from WV Sports Now hasn't been on the show in a while. We'll fix that. That'll be at 5:33 this afternoon. And then more of your responses to our question of the day, of which we have a bunch. Let's start, as we always do, at the top of the 4 o'clock hour with what's going on in the financial markets. So the Dow was down 0.3% today, losing 167 points, 49,240 at the close. The S&P dropped almost 1% today, nearly 59 points, 69.17 at the close. We're seeing a lot of investors beginning to rotate out of big tech. And you can tell that NASDAQ was down 1.4% today, lost 337 points. NASDAQ closing at 23,255. So where are these investors going with those dollars that had been in the tech sector? Here's a look at some West Virginia-related stocks that were a big percentage gainers or losers today. Well, one place they're going is into heavy industry. Halliburton was up almost 3% today, added 96 cents, 33.79 at the close. Another place they've been heading, how about integrated oil? ExxonMobil was up 4.2% today, tacked on $5.77, 144.17 on Exxon. That's an all-time high for that particular stock. Walmart now is in the $1 trillion club, now up 3% today, gaining $3.72, 127.78 at the close. Yeah, AT&T A lot of these stocks that you normally go to for dividends have been performing well here. Sleepy old AT&T was up 2.3%, added 61 cents, 26.91. Verizon is making all-time highs. Verizon was up 4.3%, gained $1.91, 46.52 at the close today. I could go on and on. The energy space today, oil up 3.2%. There's a little rumbling of a little activity in the Gulf that's moving energy prices higher. Oil was up almost $2 today. WTI on the NYMEX closed at $64.12, and natural gas was up today too, 3.3%, tacked on 11 cents at the moment, trading at $3.34 per unit. All right, here's our question of the day. Question of the day has to do with Super Bowl 60. Super Bowl 60 this weekend in Santa Clara. Experts are thinking that as many as 130 million Americans are going to watch this game. And that makes a lot of sense. You've got one team on the East Coast, one team on the West Coast. A lot of people are really interested in this game. Also, it's being estimated that 80% of all Americans, 4 out of every 5 people, will at least watch some part of the game. You've got people who are at parties, you've got people who are interested in football, super fans of the teams involved, just football fans in general, people who want to see the commercials, people want to see the Bad Bunny thing. So there's going to be a lot of people watching this game. And here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. What is your favorite Super Bowl moment and why? And who are you rooting for to win Super Bowl 60? The Patriots or the Seahawks? What's your favorite Super Bowl moment and why? Who are you rooting for to win the game? The Pats or the Seahawks? To respond, text those in, 304-TALK 304, 304-8255 304. You'll find me on X2 at Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, let me get Dave Bryan in here from Steelers Depot. Steelers are not playing in Super Bowl 60, and that's what Mike McCarthy's been brought in to try to fix, to get the Steelers back into the postseason where they can make a run. How you doing today, Dave?
All right. Happy Tuesday. Happy Super Bowl week to you, Dave. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Couple of quick things here. And this is a story I didn't see anywhere else, but Steeler Depot about an hour ago. What's the story on this DK Metcalf situation with that fan in Detroit? Apparently, this story is not going away, at least for not at the moment anyway. What's up with this?
Yeah, it's growing legs or growing a lawsuit, I guess, according to the Detroit Metro Times in an article that posted, I don't know, about an hour ago, as you said, and we jumped right on it there. That fan, obviously, who Ryan Kennedy, and the one that had the altercation in the game against the Lions late during the regular season, this past season, obviously, since then he had that press conference with a couple of attorneys, I think that lasted about 15 minutes and all like that. And there has been rumors or rumblings that there would be a lawsuit. Well, supposedly he's filed one now. $100 million defamation lawsuit against DK Metcalf, the Steelers, and others. And the others being Chad Ochocinco, obviously Chad Johnson, and Shay Media, which I think puts on the Volume program that Ochocinco is a part of, and then Ford Field Management Company as well too. Obviously the stadium where that altercation took part, and probably not surprising with all the press that this guy's tried to get here. But look, here's the thing about DK Metcalf. He's never really gone on record, said anything about this. So I don't know how you can have a defamation of character lawsuit against a player or the team for that matter that really hasn't even commented on it. Now, Chad Ochocinco claims that he had a conversation with DK Metcalf, and DK Metcalf said that he never used the N-word or whatever was claimed at the time there. So I look, my mom wishes I would have been a lawyer, but I took another path and became a blogger. But I just don't think this is going to have much grounds of anything. So we'll see how it plays out. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a countersuit maybe or two within this, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
There you go. I'm with you, man. I'm not an attorney. I play one occasionally on the radio on this program, but the way I'm reading this, that Ryan Kennedy's 15 minutes of fame are quickly coming to an end. He has virtually no shot at winning this. What he's looking for is cash. He's just looking for a settlement. And who knows? He might get something.
Maybe they give him $25 in a signed DK Metcalf jersey.
Yeah, but he's first of all, I didn't realize that he owns a mortgage company. All right, we probably spent too much time talking about him anyway. But I mean, he has a history with Metcalf that goes back to his days with Seattle. He's definitely got a beef with this guy for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's it's crazy, and it's sad that we got to give him more 15 minutes of fame like this. But it's newsy, it's off season, it's a Super Bowl week, so that's why we write about it.
That's right. All right, so what's going on with the hunt for the Steelers offensive coordinator position as Mike McCarthy continues to put his staff together?
Yeah, look, we're getting closer and closer. Now, I think the team's only officially announced 6 of these hirings, I think, in total. Maybe we'll get a few more later on today or by the end of the week and all. And obviously, there's been a lot of focus on who's going to be the offensive coordinator. And it seemed like up until the last 24 hours that Saints quarterbacks coach Scott Tolzien appeared to maybe be the leader in the clubhouse. But it sounds like he has not gotten a job. He's going to stay with the Saints, and that's going to be the case evidently with Chase Hazlitt, who evidently interviewed for the tight ends coach position. I think the latest rumblings as of this morning is Vikings passing game coordinator tight ends coach Bryan Angelico, who has, I think, a couple of links maybe back to McCarthy. I think he's I think he's the one that potentially, and I think he's a Pitt product as well too. Angelico is. All these are running together because you got so many. This one coached with has ties to McCarthy back to Green Bay. This one has ties back to Dallas with McCarthy, and then you got a few others that got ties to Pittsburgh as well too. Though, but it sounds like right now Angelico is, I guess in the driver's seat until any new names pop up. But you would think this is going to come to a head here pretty soon. Perhaps by the time Friday rolls around, maybe we'll get an official announcement that at least 90% of the staff has been set. But Angelico's supposed to interview, I believe today, Jerry Dulac of the Post-Gazette wrote with the Steelers today.
All right, so what's the story on Frank Cignetti Jr.? Is he officially on the Steelers staff now?
I don't know if he's one that they've official. Maybe he is, but I think his role is kind of unclear at this point. But I think that's all but verified at this point. Once again, the team, I think, has come out and verified like 6 of these so far, and it's hard to keep up with the 6. But it does sound like Frank Cignetti Jr. is going to be and kind of like an offensive assistant of some sort. So we'll have to wait till they officially put maybe a title on him on the team's website and all. But that sounds like it's going to happen.
What percentage would you put on Aaron Rodgers coming back?
Personally, at this point, based on all these hires and all, and look, the team should not be making hires just for one potential year of Aaron Rodgers, right? Because it goes a lot further than that. Because obviously, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, you would think that it's only going to be for one season. But within that, I mean, James Campen, who Aaron Rodgers has a lot of respect for, dating back to his days at in Green Bay, there is the Steelers' new offensive line coach, and then obviously their assistant offensive line coach now is the great Jari Evans, and Evans played one season in Green Bay while Aaron Rodgers was there. And look, Tom Arth is still the quarterback's coach, and there's a lot of ties back, and even Frank Cignetti's got some ties, I think, to Aaron Rodgers back across the league and all. So at this point right now, I mean, if I was betting on it, I would put 75% or greater odds on Aaron Rodgers coming back and playing. I'll put it to you this way. If Aaron Rodgers does not retire, there's only going to be one team he's going to play for, and it's going to be the Steelers, I think. Now, a lot of people have thought maybe Minnesota because of his ties with Kevin O'Connell out there and all, and all those rumblings last offseason. But I'll just say this. If Aaron plays in 2026, I feel confident in saying it's going to be for the Steelers, and we'll see. I would think that they would want that decision by the time middle of March and free agency rolls around, or at the latest by the time the draft gets underway here. So I'm thinking probably month and a half, 2 months, we should hopefully have a decision on Aaron Rodgers.
All right, I've got about 2 minutes here, but I did want to get your take on this. People's opinions about this have been all over the map. What impact do you think Will Howard will have on the Steelers in 2026?
Well, obviously it's tied to Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers comes back, he's going to be unequivocally your starter. The question then becomes, at that point, can Will Howard do enough to get the number 2 role? You obviously would think Mason Rudolph's going to be battling him there. We'll see if this team invests any type of a mid to late round draft pick, maybe in a quarterback, to help challenge some things as well too. So if Aaron Rodgers returns, it's his job. If Aaron doesn't come back, it will be interesting because, look, there's not much on the free agency market. I mean, there's the Malik Willis stuff, but, he's probably going to get a lot of offers, and potentially in Miami seems like a good fit for him with that new head coach coming from the Packers there. And then could they potentially trade for Mac Jones with the 49ers? I suppose, but the 49ers are probably going to have a pretty hefty price tag on him with him being under contract for 1 more year. You get past those two of Malik Willis and Mac Jones, you might as well stick with your own guy. And obviously Mike McCarthy has talked kind of glowingly about Will Howard and how he's excited to work with him now that he's with the Steelers. So if Aaron doesn't come back, then I would suppose you're going to see some sort of quarterback competition between Will Howard and Mason Rudolph. And like I said, maybe they have another draft pick, mid to late round guy, and this quarterback class isn't great beyond Fernando Mendoza. So that's kind of my viewpoint on it. My hope is that at the very least, if Aaron comes back, that Will Howard can win the backup job.
As we wrap up here, I was happy to see Mason Rudolph send out a social media message thanking Mike Tomlin and implying that Tomlin is going to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer. You know what? That's a topic for the offseason. We're going to have plenty of time to debate that. Dave, thanks for coming on the show as always, and I'll talk to you next week at the same time. Have a great week.
All right. Enjoy the big game and go Seahawks. Root for Dale's team this week.
There you go. Look at him, Coop. Just trying to get on your good side.
Dave already explained to me that all the Steelers fans are on my side because they're protecting that ring, man.
Well, you got that right. Yeah, I'm definitely on that bandwagon. All right, let's take a break, and we'll come back with the entertainment report in a minute.
Don't forget about our podcast. Check out your favorite podcast provider or simply go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the podcast link. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
efforts to build a stronger West Virginia. The High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. And we craft detailed financial plans for people like you, because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Coming to Parkersburg High School, February 6th and 7th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on Metro News Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download Metro News Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Ad Council.
First of all, happy Groundhog Day to all those who celebrate. This morning, down on, what's it called? The Gobbler's Knob, down in Gobbler's Knob, the Gobnobblers reported that Punxsutawney Phil predicted 6 more weeks of winter. Come on. Read the room, Phil. We could really use a win right now. I'd be careful about handing out a lot of bad news if I look like I'd make a nice hat.
All right, 4:28 on the show. Time for Talkin' TV and more. Here are the latest entertainment headlines from ABC.
ABC Entertainment News.
And you thought we were done with the Upside Down.
Looks like it's mutating.
Netflix has rolled out its first full trailer for Stranger Things Tales from '85, an animated spin-off that takes place between seasons 2 and 3 of the main Stranger Things show during a brutal snowstorm that sweeps through Hawkins, Indiana. The show hits Netflix on April 23rd, just a few months after the series finale of the live-action Stranger Things back in December. Country star Ella Langley is fresh off announcing her second album, Dandelion, and now she says she's going on tour. The fun kicks off May 7th in Toledo, Ohio. Caitlin Butts, Gabriella Rose, and Lacey K. Booth are all slated to be openers.
You were saying that under the right circumstances, a producer can make more money with a flop than he could with a hit.
And happy birthday to Nathan Lane, star of The Birdcage and The Producers. Lane is turning 70 today. Mike Dubowski, ABC News.
This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. The traffic jam on the Ohio River is starting to untangle.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers was able to restart locking operations at the Willow Island Lock and Dam Monday night. Temperatures climbed above freezing, slightly and only briefly Monday afternoon, but it was enough to allow Corps personnel to flush out much of the ice that impacted the locked chamber doors and forced the Corps to suspend locking for 5 days. At the height of the shutdown, 14 barges were waiting to get through the locks both upstream and downstream. The U.S. Coast Guard helped coordinate the movement of the congested waters around Willow Island to get those barges through. I'm Chris Lawrence, WVMetroNews.com.
State Senate Education Committee approving a bill today at the state capitol that would give county school boards some flexibility when it comes to hiring school superintendents. Right now, the superintendents have to live in the county or in the next county over. Kanawha County Senator Kevin Bartlett says local school boards would have more options.
It's just giving the county school board, the elected county school board, control over their hiring, and then they would take the credit or the heat for that decision.
Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhaney writes more on the bill at WVMetroNews.com. The House of Delegates voting in favor of a bill today aimed at freeing up more than $100 million in federal funds for rural health care. That bill relaxes state purchasing rules. The state is set to receive more than $100 million a year in the Rural Health Care Transformation Program. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Come on, Liam, let's go. Get open. Come on, go for it. Wake up. Wake up, Liam. Oh, come on, use your head. Gotta want it. Dominate.
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the WVSSAC and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
Charleston police say a person did not survive a collision with a train today in Kanawha City. CSX said in a statement, quote, CSX extends its deepest sympathies to everyone impacted by this tragic incident and will continue to support local law enforcement as they complete the investigation. Maybe things will be back to normal tomorrow at Milton Middle School. There were no classes last week because of the winter storm. Students returned this week. There was no heat. They brought in a portable natural gas tank today to heat the building, but it began to leak. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to the show. 4:33 here until 6 o'clock, Metro News Hotline. Will Carroll's going to join us here in just one sec to talk about this developing story regarding the American Olympic team that will be taking part in the Winter Games that get going in Italy later this week. 41-year-old Lindsey Vonn says despite the fact she has a torn ACL in her knee, she's going to compete. And, of course, she's trying to come back after a 6-year absence. So, I wanted to get one of the experts that I really trust when it comes to sports injuries, Will Carroll, who runs the outstanding Substack Under the Knife, to get him to weigh in on that. And we will do that here in just a sec. We've got a ton of response to our question of the day. Now, let's do a quick reset on that right now. And it is sponsored by Salango Law. As many as 130 million Americans are expected to tune in to Super Bowl 60 on Sunday on NBC and Peacock, with 80% of the population watching some part of the game. Some part of the game. So here's the question. What is your favorite Super Bowl moment and why? And who are you rooting for in Super Bowl 60? The Patriots or the Seahawks? What's your favorite Super Bowl moment and why? And who are you rooting for in Super Bowl 60? The Pats or Seattle? To respond, text those in 304-TALK 304. 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Rob Reel. Oh, he's been a guest on our show. He's the morning man at 96.1 Superstar Country here in the building. He says, Dave, I can answer this in 2 words. David Tyree. You know what? Cooper, I think we've got that in the Sound of Sports today, don't we? I believe we do. So that's coming up in about 20 minutes or so. Tyree, that unbelievable catch he made. That was one part of it. How Eli Manning was able to avoid the rush from the Pats to get that throw off down the field that spoiled the Patriots' nearly undefeated season and gave the Giants and Eli his second Super Bowl win.
There's never been a crazier play there's been crazier plays, but just the fact that it was a crazy play against a massively undervalued team, or a team that everything was against them as far as playing against that Patriot team and everything goes, it's just one of those plays that sticks in your memory as, man, that was just wild. And you go back and look at it, the dude caught it on his head.
You know,
and
like pinned it against his helmet.
All these different things that had to go right for that play to actually work went right. I mean, pretty incredible.
That was something. We got a bunch of response to this. We'll get into more, and some of these are great. We'll get into more of these in a bit. But I want to bring Will Carroll in on the Lindsey Vonn situation. Will, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, I was there for that Tyree catch.
Were you? Oh.
Yeah, that was Indianapolis.
Were you in the oh, that's right. Oh, that's exactly right. I forgot about that. All right, well, let's talk about this Lindsey Vonn situation. I mean, listen, you deal with sports injuries, and we've talked a lot about baseball injuries. What do you make of this? I mean, can she really be competitive with a torn ACL?
Short answer, maybe. You know, it's pretty amazing when you consider on her other knee, now I guess you'd call it her good knee, she had a knee replacement.
Right.
Now, it's not your standard, you know, this isn't the same thing that grandma had, but I mean, a robot-assisted titanium partial knee replacement, and you come back to ski at this level at that age. Granted, she doesn't look that age, but it's one of those situations where it's already unlikely. With the ACL, man, okay, what you have to do is understand what the ACL does and the forces that skiing puts on it. I will not pretend to be a skiing expert, but you watch them and they're bouncing. They're turning, they're cutting, they're having to put those edges down. There's not a lot of stopping and starting, obviously, not if you're doing it right, but there is a lot of force. So the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament, is one of four main ligaments of the knee. And what it tries to do is, if you just stand up straight and you look at your tibia, your shin bone, it tries to keep it from coming forward of the knee. And you can see why that would be really, really bad for skiing. But there's two things that are going to really help her. First, she's already had knee problems. The second is she's got really, really good secondary stabilizers, which are really what we would call the quad and the hamstring. She is strong. All skiers have to be to hold that position for the downhill, for the slaloms. She's not going to have to cut back and forth. She is going to have some very high technical turns on that course, which she loves. The second thing is that she's going to have a brace. And this isn't going to be your go down to Dick's Sporting Goods, buy a brace and hope it fits. This is a custom, high-tech, holding everything in place. She's not going to have a lot of time to get used to it. She was already out on the course, not skiing full speed, not putting full force on it, but she can ski. They've reduced the inflammation. They brought in a special manual therapist from Sweden, which sounds like the start of a good joke. But yeah, it's plausible that she's going to be able to go out there. Is she going to be able to go out there and win? Man, I don't know, because it was already so unlikely before.
A couple of things here. And we're talking with Will Carroll from Under the Knife about the news today that Lindsey Vonn, the 41-year-old American skier, is going to participate in the skiing competition once it gets underway in Italy, despite the fact she has a torn ACL in her right knee and has a knee replaced on her left side. The women's downhill competition begins on February the 8th. The Super G will take place 4 days later. She said today she still plans on competing in both. One of the things about her story that I need some help on is, we see this in other sports where a person will tear their ACL and, there's a lot of swelling and you have to wait for the swelling to go down before you get in there and surgically repair it. She's saying she doesn't have any swelling at all.
Well, she doesn't now. I mean, if I had a special Swedish therapist, maybe I wouldn't either. No, it's not normal that she doesn't. She absolutely did. She is human. But were they able to get that swelling out of there quickly? Yes.
All right. So Lindsey Vonn retired from world-class competition in 2019 just because of all the injuries she had sustained. And a lot of people were really surprised that when she announced that she was coming back in 2024 and everything was pointing towards this event the Winter Olympics in 2026. So this is obviously a major story that's developing there. Hey, Will, I appreciate you coming on the show. Before you go, though, I wanted to ask you also about, I guess, we've got Super Bowl 60 coming up this weekend, and maybe the biggest injury news leading up to the game in Santa Clara is Drake May and his right shoulder. There had been a lot of chatter about, what's the status of that? When was he actually hurt? We think it was in the game against the Broncos. He practiced yesterday, and I guess there is media availability to see some of the practice. It looks like, I don't know if this is a non-story, but it looks like he's going to be able to play.
He's going to play. The question is, what is the effect going to be? Are they going to be able to get that thing feeling good enough that he's got the same zip that he normally has? He throws a lot of long outs, and you've got to be able to throw that with some velocity. He goes deep a lot of times. They have no compunction about going over the top if they get booty out there. So can he make those same throws? But on the other side, Sam Darnold, he's still got the oblique. Don't mistake not having an injury designation for not having an injury. Remember, those injury designations, the probable, the doubtful, the outs, those only have to do with, are you going to play? Look, Sam Darnold's going to play. He would probably go out there legless if they'd let him, but that oblique is still going to affect him. So it's the same sorts of things. He looked good in the games before. The rest will help. But both quarterbacks have some questions to answer, and we'll know probably after their second or third throw.
Hey, Coop, you follow the Darnold situation very closely. What are your spies in Seattle telling you about his oblique? Is that a non-factor going into Super Bowl 60, or what's the story on that?
Yeah, I don't have anything more than what Will has, obviously. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. They're playing it pretty close to the vest, I think, as far as it goes.
All right. Hey, Will, great stuff. Thanks for jumping on with us, because this is really a developing story. It's good for NBC, and it was an unfortunate situation that Vonn was injured, but I think this is going to bring a lot more attention to her competition.
Definitely. Thanks a lot, Dave.
All right, Will Carroll. And as I said in the setup to the show today, if you're interested in sports injuries, and he runs down a lot of baseball injuries and injuries in other sports as well, but maybe primarily baseball injuries, his Substack email is a must follow. And there are different levels that you can subscribe to it. And the free one has a lot of great content. It's just simply Under the Knife. Check it out at Substack. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Oh, by the way, we now have in-house some of the comments today made by WVU basketball coach Ross Hodge. Everything seemed to be going rather swimmingly for the Mountaineer basketball team in Big 12 competition. They were winning the games they were supposed to win until this weekend's game against Baylor. Baylor arguably had been the most disappointing team in the Big 12 this season, but they handled West Virginia, and West Virginia has not been scoring a lot of points. They shot the ball very poorly on their home rims against the Bears this weekend. Now WVU goes on the road. They will play Cincinnati on Thursday. Cincinnati's been playing a little bit better since the Mountaineers beat them at the Hope Coliseum, but if you remember in that game, West Virginia was down 5 at the under 4 timeout and then rallied to win. This is it's a must-win game for Cincinnati, and it's a pretty big game for WVU if West Virginia wants to get into that conversation for a potential at-large berth to the NCAA basketball tournament. So we'll hear a little bit from Ross Hodge in the 5 o'clock hour talking about that loss to Baylor, what went wrong and what can be fixed. We'll do that at 5, probably around 5:45 this afternoon. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into the On This Date file in just a minute.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. And we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
On the next State of Minds.
People appreciate cool tattoos and they appreciate good tattoos. It's a way to make yourself different.
What do you think would fit me?
I think a ninja. A ninja with two swords.
We'll get into the On This Date file in just a minute, but here's a move that is sort of predictable coming out of the world of college football earlier today. So it looks like the college football playoff has decided that they are not going to go up against the NFL next year in the quarterfinals, and that's probably a pretty good move. College football playoff won't have a game on New Year's Eve next season to avoid playing at the same time as an NFL Thursday night game. So the way the quarterfinals are going to work for the college football playoff next year, you're going to have the Fiesta Bowl game is going to be on Wednesday, December the 30th. There won't be a game on Thursday because of the NFL, and then there'll be a triple header on Friday, New Year's Day, in the Cotton Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Bowl, the Peach Bowl rather, in Atlanta, and the Rose Bowl. Those will be your semifinal games. This upcoming season, to repeat, the college football playoff will not go up against the NFL with a quarterfinal game like it did this year. And there will be no college football playoff game for the first time in a while on New Year's Eve. So you've got one quarterfinal game on Wednesday, December 30th in the Fiesta Bowl. Then the NFL takes that Thursday night. The following day, which is Friday, New Year's Day, you'll have the other three quarterfinal games in the college football playoffs. In the Cotton Bowl, the Peach Bowl, and then the Rose Bowl. The semifinals will be on January 14th in the Orange Bowl and in the Sugar Bowl. That's probably a smart move. That really, if you remember the ratings on those quarterfinal games that were on TNT that went up against the NFL did not do so well. So the college football playoffs are going to try to avoid that this year, and I think that's actually a pretty good move. All right, here we go. Let's get into the On This Date file, and we'll start with the birthdays, and we'll start with the sports birthdays. Sports birthdays today. Fran Tarkenton, quarterback for the Vikings and the New York Giants, 86 years old today. Vlade Divac, Hornets, Lakers in the front office for the Kings. 53 years old today, Bob Greasy. Bob Greasy, quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, star in college at Purdue. 1971 NFL Player of the Year. He's 76 years old. Bob Greasy, is he underrated? Probably so. Here are some comments Greasy made going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton back in 1980.
You don't have to be the biggest or the strongest or the fastest or the quickest or the prettiest to be successful. As long as you have desire and determination, you have heart, you have some intelligence, and you have some persistence, and you're consistent, and yes, maybe if you're stubborn, you can be successful and be successful in life. Thank you all very much, and God bless.
Bob Greasy, quarterback of the Dolphins, 76 years old today. From baseball, Fred Lynn having a birthday today. Fred Lynn having a birthday. He is 74 years old, played for the Red Sox, the Angels, the O's. Let's flash back to October 15th, 1975. World Series Game 4 against the Reds at Riverfront Stadium. This is one of the biggest moments of his career. The Reds had a shot.
3-2 the count.
The Reds had a shot at winning in the ninth when, with 2 on and nobody out, Ken Griffey Sr. sent a drive to left center that Fred Lynn made a great catch on. Joe Morgan then popped out to first base on Louis Tion's 163rd pitch of the game. The Red Sox won the game 5-4 in Game 4, but the Reds would go on to win the series in 7 games. Here's that Griffey shot that Fred Lynn tracked down.
3-2 the count. The payoff pitch. Fly ball hit well to center field. Lynn racing back. He will make the catch. What a catch by Freddie Lynn. Geronimo 3/4 of the way down to third, and Fred Lynn has just turned in the defensive play of the game.
This is one super play by Freddie Lynn under pressure as he just turns his back. He had a long run. He lopes after the ball with that great style that is already familiar, I'm sure, to all of our viewers. He keeps it to the open side. Not once has he turned the wrong way and makes a tremendous play under some kind of pressure. And Geronimo at second base, 3/4 of the way down, has to go back.
Coop, that was some classic Brenneman there. Classic Brenneman from 1975. Other birthdays today. Blythe Danner, that's Gwyneth Paltrow's mom, 83 years old today. Morgan Fairchild, 76. Nathan Lane is 70. Events on this day included the day the music died in 1959, the plane crash that killed Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, in Clear Lake, Iowa.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. 3 young singers who soared to the heights of show business on the current rock and roll craze were killed today in the crash of a light plane in an Iowa snow flurry. The singers were identified as Richie Valens, 17, Buddy Holly, 22, and J.P. Richardson, known professionally as the Big Bopper. The aircraft chartered from the Dwyer Flying Service crashed near Mason City, ironically the setting for the prominent musical The Music Man. The pilot, Roger Peterson of Clear Lake, Iowa, was also killed. The 3 singers had appeared at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa last night and were on their way to Fargo, North Dakota. Their small chartered plane crashed in a lonely farmyard about 15 miles northwest of Mason City. Cause of the crash was due to inclement weather conditions. Details upcoming from Action Central News.
And from the NFL, on this date 2008 in the Super Bowl in Phoenix, the Giants upset the Pats 17-14. Eli Manning with the long pass to David Tyree that set up the game-winning touchdown.
Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet. Airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree. Inside the 25 and a timeout taken. Oh my God. This ball's thrown and Tyree just goes up for it like a basketball player. Harrison trying to knock it down. And Eli, man, I don't know how he got out of there. I thought he was on the ground and then he came out of the pile and just slings it.
And our musical birthday to the break, Dave Davies of the Kinks, 79 today. The 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports are next.
This
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
Coming to Parkersburg High School, February 6th and 7th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on Metro News Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download Metro News Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
Sports headlines at 5 o'clock. The Penguins are at the Islanders tonight. There's 4 Big 12 basketball games tonight, including UCF at number 8 Houston. And Lindsey Vonn says she's still going to ski for the United States when the Winter Games begin in Italy this weekend. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying. Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a... I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, yeah, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous.
Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
I know.
You were watching the Lions game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
what happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So because I'm not a I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually kind of sports show, syndicated?
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. Yeah. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station. I had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who were from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour.
Navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more.
From a Mountain State point of view, Hotline is a no-politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia. Time to start the third and final hour of our program today, Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. Listen, we've been grinding here for a while this afternoon. We get going every weekday afternoon on the Metro News Radio Network at 3:06 and take you through the afternoon until 6 o'clock. If you've missed any of the stuff we've been up to, you can always double back and check it out at the podcast. The podcast is available everywhere, but you know what I do? Man, I just go right to the source. I go to the website, WVMetroNews.com, because that way you'll find our show. You can listen to a 3-hour version, any individual hours. We're chopping stuff up into the short morsels of audio goodness that you can listen to on the run. Our podcast is there. Also, all the other podcasts that are produced by the network. You'll find that stuff there, too. It's at the website, WVMetroNews.com. And if you haven't been there in a while, man, there is tons of West Virginia-related news that gets updated 24/7, 365. Head on over to the website and check it out, WVMetroNews.com. All right, we'll reset our question of the day here in just a minute, but we can't keep our guest waiting long because the counselor, Rusty Webb, is joining us from Hawaii to talk about a few things. Rusty, how you doing out there?
I'm warm. I'm warm is what I am.
Man, Coop, this is so crazy. Remember in the old days, it's like, you're going to have to call Rusty in Hawaii, and you'd be like, we can't afford that. We can't afford to do that.
I called collect, so it's okay.
You called collect.
Yeah, I called collect. It worked out just fine.
Yeah, well,
did you run this by management, this long distance program?
I was going to say,
I need to make sure, Rusty, you didn't grab any idols out of the cave. There's not going to be any spiders in your bed tonight, like the Brady Bunch, right? You're in good shape.
No, the Brady Bunch, is next door. I think they were, and that's the first thing I thought of when I get here is they were at the Royal Hawaiian, and I'm at the Moana.
Nice.
Oh man, you're killing me. You're killing me. Let me get our question of the day said, and then we're going to talk to Rusty. So, question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. As many as 130 million Americans are expected to tune in to Super Bowl 60. 80% of the American population is expected to watch some part of the game. That's people who are football fanatics, people who are fans of these particular teams, people who are just interested in commercials, people who only want to see the Bad Bunny halftime show. 80% of the population is expected to tune in to this game on Sunday for at least part of it. So the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law, what is your favorite Super Bowl moment and why, and who are you rooting for to win Super Bowl 60, the Patriots or the Seahawks? You can reach us via text, 304-TALK-304, 304-8255-304. I'm on X too, at Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, let's get back to the counselor, Rusty Webb, who's joining us live from Hawaii. Coop, when was the last time we had anybody on the show who was in Hawaii?
This isn't the first time, I don't think, but it's been a little while.
It's been a while. Hey, Rusty, didn't we?
I think it was me.
Well, it may have been.
What was the exchange rate? I used to get that all the time at my store. I would tell people, I only have Hawaiian currency today. Is that okay? And they'd be like, I can't take that.
Hey, man, didn't we have you call in one time from Paris?
Yes.
Yes,
we did.
We did. All right. Let's get into a little bit of this business of what's going on in college football with can you enforce contracts? Because we just went through a situation where Darian Mensah, the quarterback at Duke, he and Miami have paid off Duke, and so now he's clear and free to go to the Miami Hurricanes. Is that a sign that these contracts between players, these NIL deals between players and schools, they're enforceable, right?
They're very enforceable, and I just see lots of litigation now. After Dabo Swinney gave the poaching rant the other day, I see even more litigation where you're going to It's called, in the law, it's called tortious or intentional interference with a business relationship. So that's what it's called in the law. Poaching is. So I see it on a number of levels now, and it is going to be a lawyer's basically dream. I mean, this is you're talking about 134, not really 134, but, Division I teams, if you use basketball, football, and this is going to happen more and more and more frequently, and contract lawyers are going to be very, very much involved, very much involved.
The Dabo Swinney situation, if people are not familiar with that, on January 23rd, he had some comments where he mentioned Ole Miss by name, that Ole Miss was tampering with one of his players, and in fact, he called the tampering with linebacker Luke Farrelly blatant tampering, and Swinney called it tampering 301. So I guess that's an upper division class. The thing that was interesting about the tampering was normally when coaches make these types of accusations, and it's kind of rare for them to call each other out by name because they're kind of in the same club. The NCAA really responded relatively quickly. The NCAA's Vice President for Enforcement, John Duncan, gave a public statement that the NCAA would probe any claims, deeming them credible allegations, and calling for complete cooperation from everyone. That kind of signaled that maybe the NCAA, which really doesn't seem to have much power these days, is pretty serious about policing this. My question to you, Rusty, is are we going to start seeing uniform contracts where all schools will be signing players with similar deals, or do state laws get involved in this? Every so often, and I want to use the term saber rattling. First of all, I think the NCAA is saber rattling, meaning it's going to investigate, but it really has no enforcement powers. And now I'm going to use the term saber rattling, where Congress says, okay, if you players and schools and states don't get your act together, then we're going to get the federal government involved in some kind of uniform laws. So I'm going to say a lot of saber rattling, but I'm not so sure just yet that the federal government is going to dive in deep. I'll tell you this as well. As you know, I was an NFL agent for 2 years. Right. And you have to go through a very, very tough testing to get that. And these agents that are out there now, ex-players, friends, family, whatever, they don't have any, and lawyers, of course, lawyers and real agents, real NFL agents, they don't have any training. And I see them being pulled into these poaching lawsuits like Dabo described. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of defendants in these cases. The NIL, the people who are paying the money, the university, the scout who goes out and makes the low person who makes the phone calls, the agent. I see a lot of people being sued on these things, and it's just going to get worse. We talk about it. It's just going to get worse and worse. So the situation, say, for example, the NCAA wanted to hit Ole Miss for these tampering allegations about players who are on the Clemson roster. Are these penalties that would hit a specific coach? Would they hit a specific coach and a school? Who would be penalized? Well, traditionally, it's been, no matter what happens, it's the team that gets punished, right? SMU, right? Like, it's the team that gets punished. But has the NCAA even kept up and issued new rules associated with NIL, associated with poaching? I don't think it has. I don't think it's kept up. So you can't enforce a rule that you don't have. You can investigate, but if you don't have the rule, how do you enforce it? You know what I mean? I think they have a lot of catching up to do. Hey, here's a question for you. You may not know the answer. I don't know the answer to this. When you were a certified agent and you were certified by the NFL Players Association, that opened doors for you to negotiate contracts. at that time, college players were not legally being paid. Shouldn't there be some sort of certification rules for agents dealing with schools now?
Absolutely. But what you see is, like the state of West Virginia did it back in the 90s. What right now, all it is it's an agent registration with some bonding to it sometimes. So you have to have a little bit of insurance, I guess. But they're just registrations, and virtually all 50 states have them. So what the states need to do really is pass uniform agent certification laws. That's what if they want to protect players and guarantee that the players have, quality representation. And that's not to say there's a lot of NFLPA agents that are representing probably the big players. But if they want to guarantee it, they need to really up their game on registration and require some sense of certification, testing, maybe a law degree, not necessarily a law degree, but some sophistication in contracts, just contract law.
And I'll wrap with this. And I think I talked about this briefly with you the last time you were here. We talked about the DeMond Williams situation where he was a quarterback at the University of Washington, and he literally signed his NIL deal and then within a week wanted to break it and move to LSU for more money. The lawyers got involved, and now he's staying at the University of Washington. If I'm a fan of Washington, I'm not all that crazy about the idea that the only reason our quarterback on the field is staying there is because he couldn't break his NIL deal to go to another school. It's not really that romantic.
Well, we've lost our romance with college football anyway, Dave. You know that.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's just another chink in the college football armor, man. We're losing it.
All right,
because it's pro football. It's pro football.
Yeah, it's pro football.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. It is pro football at this point. Heck, we've got some situations where literally players in college football, the high-end college football players, are making more money than guys who are in the NFL on their first contracts, which is kind of hard to believe. Hey, let me ask you this. Yeah. How was your trip out to Hawaii? Did you have any problems getting out there?
TSA, but that's another whole segment. Yeah, they're just
all right.
11 agents and 2 of them were working. Yeah, so yeah. I wrote to DC about it. Trust me.
Oh well,
I wrote to DC.
Well,
yeah. I emailed somebody.
How long are you going to stay out there?
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
This is the 20th anniversary of my law firm. Right?
Oh, okay.
So I started in 2006. This is 2026, so it's kind of like a retreat and a celebration of 20 years of practicing on my own, with my own law firm. Next year, it'll be 27. That'll be 40 years practicing law. 40 years.
Man,
yeah.
That's crazy. 3 weeks, you could set up like a satellite office out there.
Boy, would I like to. Good gosh. Good God.
Hey, Rusty, thanks for giving me a couple of minutes today on your vacation. Have fun out there in Hawaii.
Okay, buddy.
Thanks,
right,
man.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. There you go. Coop, that's the counselor. 3 weeks in Hawaii. 3 weeks. You could get an apartment.
Somebody has to do it.
Yeah, somebody has to
Somebody has to twist the arms.
Somebody's got to do it. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and play In or Out in a moment.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304.
Or tweet at WEEKLEY.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I've had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
All right, welcome back to the show. We're going to play in or out here in a second, but Coop, just a quick comment about our boy Rusty in the middle of a 3-week vacation in Hawaii.
Yes. Is that overrated or underrated?
That's underrated.
That's a deep cut for those that listen.
That is definitely. Yeah, oh, yeah, that is a deep cut. That's right. Let's play in or out. It's a 3-man weave. I'm here. Coop's here. McIntyre Murphy's here. Every day at the Sun, we focus on the stuff you talk about at the office. We call it in or out. The setup is simple. 3 categories: food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity. The topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Cooper, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oreo and Marvel have launched Stuff of Legends cookies featuring color-changing cream that shifts from gray to blue. 3 special edition packs arrived in stores yesterday, each illustrated by Marvel Comics. The cookies showcase 32 unique embossments with characters from the Avengers, Spider-Man, X-Men, and the Fantastic Four. Oreo and Marvel Stuff of Legends cookies, in or out?
Back up to the beginning of this. What was it about color changing?
Yes, they changed the cream changes color from gray to blue.
Gray to blue as you eat, or
I suppose when maybe air hits it. I don't know, man.
I got to be honest, man. Like, I love the Oreos, and I don't mind when they put the little emblems on it. They've been doing stuff like that for a while. But the different colored, when you put color in cream, it changes the texture. It may not change the taste, but it changes the texture a little bit. Man, I've been buying knockoff Oreos for about 3 months now because I could never find just double stuffed Oreos. You can't find them anywhere, so I've been buying the knockoffs. Slightly out on this, man. Just slightly out. Bring back the good stuff. That's all I'm saying is bring back the good stuff.
Matt Guitar Murphy, Oreo and Marvel Stuff of Legends cookies, in or out?
I didn't expect him to be so upset about this.
I mean, you might as well have an opinion if you're going to express it. Right?
Indeed, you do. Look, I love the Oreo brand. I love Oreo cookies, my favorite cookie in the world, other than Snickerdoodles.
Okay.
I'm in on this. I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah. Speaking of opinions, Man, I wish Ryan was here. He couldn't be out on this, right? He could not be out and have street cred with his peeps if he was out on this, right? Stuffs of Legends cookies. I'm not going to buy this. I mean, I'm not going to buy it. I mean, all I get is the original. That's what I eat. So I'm going to have to be slightly. I don't want to be a poser.
Guys.
I don't want to be a poser on this because I'm probably not going to eat that unless they send them to us.
Yes. Hey, Oreo.
You know, hey,
Briscoe.
come on now. Come on.
Nudge, nudge, nudge the Briscoe.
Yeah. Got reaction. PETA criticizing Sabrina Carpenter for using a live dove in the Grammy performance on Sunday night. She took a live white dove during her performance in L.A. When she concluded her man-child set by holding the bird while elevated on a silver airplane prop at Crypto.com Arena. PETA had a problem with that, saying that the bird may have been bothered by bright lights, loud noise, and handling caused fear and distress for a bird who belongs flying free in the open sky. Carpenter has not responded. PETA criticizing the use of one live dove. In or out? Cool.
Everything that you read describing her performance up until the dove, I took more offense of than the dove itself. I'm not somebody that thinks you should abuse animals for your music video or whatever else, but this is a case where she was basically just holding it, right?
Yes.
And then they gave it back to the handlers or whatever. Man, I read their press release on this, and gosh, man. I mean, for people to take you serious, you have to use serious language sometimes. I'm kind of out on this.
Matt, PETA criticizing Sabrina Carpenter for using one live dove.
Look, Sabrina Carpenter is one of the hottest things going right now. I think she's incredible. And people eating tasty animals, also known as PETA, is just, they need to stay in their lane. I got to be out on this.
But you know what we know now? This must be what it sounds like when doves cry.
That's right. That's true.
Wow.
You know, I watched this performance live. It was great. And this bird was not mistreated.
The bird lived, right?
Yeah.
The bird lived.
It was celebrated in the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna be out on
it's
this.
a bird celebrity now.
Finally, this one's about a celebrity. Kelly Clarkson is ending her talk show after 7 seasons. She's saying she's making the personal decision to step away from the demands of daily TV hosting. Production on this current season will continue, and new episodes will continue airing through next fall. Kelly Clarkson, in or out?
Okay, never watched this show, was never going to watch this show, so I couldn't care less about her TV show, whatever it is. Daytime TV, I don't care about. The one thing that did come from her show that I saw were clips of her doing covers of just about any song that you could imagine. And boy, that girl can sing just about any style and interpret into her own. Mad respect for that. Whatever she does, I just hope she sings, man. I don't care about the talk show stuff. Go sing somewhere. I'm in.
What do you think?
Mark my words. In the next 12 months, she'll have a new album. I'm in.
Yeah, I can't be out on this. I'm going to be in on Kelly Clarkson. She's talented. Matt, thanks, brother.
Yep.
All right, we'll take a break. And Matt Asti, WV Sports Now on the Mountaineers and more when we come back. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Morgan Pemberton. A bill moving through the state Senate would give county boards of education more flexibility in hiring school superintendents.
State law now requires a superintendent to live in the county where he or she works or in a bordering county. The State Department of Education backs a bill that would allow for counties to hire school superintendents from a couple of counties over. State Department of Education Legislative Policy Director Drew McClanahan says it's getting more difficult to find school superintendents. He says being a county or two away from where the school system is should not be a hurdle.
I think we all want to make sure that county boards of education have the authority to choose the best candidate that they choose or that they so see fit.
The bill cleared the Senate Education Committee Tuesday. It does allow individual county school systems to keep the existing requirements in place if they want. I'm Jeff Jenkins, WV MetroNews.com.
The retrial for a quadruple murder case in Kanawha County is moving forward. 21-year-old Gavin Smith was convicted in 2022 of killing 4 of his family members. However, the state Supreme Court of Appeals vacated that conviction after finding some errors. Kanawha County Prosecuting Attorney Deborah Rusnick says the county is ready to present the case again.
I don't ever like to assume what a jury will do, but again, we do plan to put our case forward fully, completely, and fairly, and leave it in the hands of the jury, and we are certainly prepared to do that.
The trial is set to begin on February 23rd. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Game day in my house is everything. I get out of class, I grab my gear, and get to the game because I can't wait. And my dad, he does the same thing. He's an official here in West Virginia. He makes the tough calls, stays cool under pressure, and knows ball like nobody else. I want to be just like him. You can too. Sign up at highschoolofficials.com.
There's a lot of noise out there about the market and the economy, but what's really important to you and your future? I'm Shelley Hustle, a member of Huntington Bank's local wealth team right here in West Virginia. Join us for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline as we discuss the most important topics and what they mean for you, your family, and your business. Join us on Thursday for Money Minutes, providing insight into the market and how it will impact us right here at home.
Locking operations resumed at the Willow Island Locks and Dam on the Ohio River overnight. According to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, 8 vessels locked through after significant ice accumulation on the lock chamber walls, and the chamber doors forced them to suspend locking on January 28th. They said they will monitor resumed operations closely. And a pedestrian died this morning after being struck by a CSX train in Charleston. Police say the incident occurred around 11 a.m. in Canal City near Chesterfield Avenue and Courtney Drive. Charleston police are investigating. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Morgan Pemberton.
Discover the WVRC Media app, your gateway to pristine audio for every WVRC radio station across West Virginia. Download it for free from the Apple or Play stores and enjoy the best music, talk, and local news from Beckley to Morgantown, Charleston to Martinsburg. Our stations are locally programmed, delivering the finest music and robust local news and sports coverage. Experience West Virginia radio like never before. The WVRC Media app. We're proud to live here, too.
All right, welcome back to the show. All right, Mike Asti from WV Sports Now is going to join me here in just a sec. Ross Hodge, WV's basketball coach, had a media availability earlier today. Looking ahead to Thursday's game in Cincinnati against the UC Bearcats. Opened with some comments about the not, I don't want to call it the surprising loss to Baylor, but it was surprising in this respect. The WVU's been able to defend its home court very effectively to this point of the season until the game with Baylor on Saturday. Although scoring points is suddenly turning into a problem for the Mountaineers. We'll see if they can crank it up and be a little bit more effective against the Bearcats in Cincinnati on Saturday. You know, and as far as Cincinnati is concerned, you know, right now they are 3-6 in the Big 12. But if you squint and look at the rest of their schedule, they have some opportunities to win some games here, but it all depends on whether or not they can beat the Mountaineers. I mean, here's the rest of Cincinnati's schedule leading into the conference tournament in Kansas City. They host WVU. They'll likely be favored in that game. They will play Cincinnati. They will play UCF at home this weekend. That's a toss-up. They'll go to K-State. They should win that game. K-State's in all kinds of trouble. They're home to Utah. And then they play Kansas. That's a loss. They go to Texas Tech. That's probably a loss. They host Oklahoma State. They'll probably win that game. They host BYU. That's another loss. And they go to TCU. That's kind of a toss-up. But, I mean, if you squint and you look at Cincinnati's schedule for the next few games, WVU and UCF at home, then on the road to K-State, then hosting Utah. If you're looking at that schedule wearing Bearcat glasses, that could potentially be a 4-game winning streak. That could put them over 500 in conference play. So this Thursday night game against West Virginia is a very, very big game for the Bearcats. Mike Asti from WVU Sports Now joins me. How are you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you?
So, how are you feeling about West Virginia basketball right now after the strong start in the conference season, but then really a misfire against Baylor on Saturday afternoon?
Right. If we were talking before the Baylor game, I was feeling good. They finally got a staple victory under their belt. That even though they had the tough road losses, for the most part, as you mentioned, they were to really elite teams, the Houstons, the Iowa States of the world, and even be able to win one on the road against Arizona State. And then you have that effort against Baylor, and Ross Hodge said it. I mean, after having his favorite victory of the year against Kansas State, I'd imagine the Baylor effort is his least favorite game since being West Virginia's head coach, and kind of alluded to that with the effort not being there. I mean, yeah, defensively they're mostly good as they've been in every game, but offensively they just didn't have enough, and that's kind of where I am, that while they can compete with anybody and they can maybe surprise teams, and defensively they're going to give teams fits. Even great offensive teams will have to strategize more and probably not love playing against West Virginia. It's more work for that coaching staff. But offensively, they're just so hot and cold. They go through these long 4 to 5 minute scoring droughts, and it's kind of ironic. Early in the year, an Eagle staff who came over to be one of their leading scorers really, really struggled to the point that Hodge had to actually defend him by name in multiple press conferences. They were getting production from Huff and others, and it wasn't as big of a deal. Granted, they messed up the chances at some quality victories. And then once he started turning it on, then you saw Huff not being able to do as much and the others kind of going through their drought. So they haven't had a full season of the offense clicking like probably they imagined when they recruited the team. And if that doesn't happen, as the season is winding down now, they're vulnerable to lose to anybody, as well as being able to compete against anybody just the same.
Yeah, unless they get the offensive thing turned around. I mean, these next three games I think are going to be difficult. At Cincinnati Thursday, home to Texas Tech, who I'm not sure how they found a way to lose that game to KU last night after they had a 10-point lead in the second half on their home floor. And then UCF in Orlando has been a handful for people. And if you want to take a look at it, I've got the numbers here on UCF. I mean, UCF right now, if the season ended today, they're an at-large team in the NCAA tournament. I think their net is like 42.
I was going to bring up that people do not talk about them, and it's mostly because, unlike the brand of West Virginia basketball historically, UCF basketball does not bring you any cachet. Casual fans probably don't follow them until maybe they would get in the tournament. But if you look at their metrics, if you look at the net, if you look at Ken Palm, they've been better than West Virginia all year, and they've been really solid. Generally, if you're in the top 40 in those metrics and you're in a quality conference and you're competitive, you're getting in. That's what happened with Huggins' last tournament team. The metrics were so great, even though they didn't win 20 games. This team's metrics, Dave, are the problem. That even though they now have a quality win, and even though they're competitive, and even though there's a brand behind them, I mean, they after that Baylor game, they dropped from in the 50s, which is reasonable, to back into the early 70s on Ken Palm. It was a crater. They cannot endure that. They're not going to be able to be a 70-plus metric team and somehow squeak in there. West Virginia fans obviously know from last year that despite the history, they're not a blue blood, and they're not going to get any type of bump with horrible metrics that maybe North Carolina, like last year, would get. They got to get themselves into the 50 neighborhood and really the 40s. And not only do they need more wins, as you mentioned, they have these games that are winnable but also losable. But how many of them will the committee or even the metrics look at and say that's a quality win to make up a 10-spot difference and get you back to where you want to be? You really got to beat Texas Tech to make that happen, or make a run in the Big 12 tournament, which is no gimme either.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like this game Thursday night at Cincinnati is so big for the Bearcats. I mean, in Wes Miller, if he loses to West Virginia for a second time, you know, I mean, they had a 5-point lead at the under 4 timeout in the first game at the Hope Coliseum, and they were unable to get that game into the barn. I just think that since this is, I was convinced that West Virginia was going to beat Baylor. I'm really worried about this game against Cincinnati.
Yeah, and the way it works is if West Virginia would have beat Baylor, and as Hodge said earlier in the year, if they would take care of business at home, when you're in a quality conference like the Big 12 that year in and year out argues as the best conference in the country, if you take care of business just simply at home and lose all on the road, you're going to at least be a bubble team. That's what he believes. That's what Ren Baker said as the AD. That's kind of the case. As long as you do enough and get to, say, 19 wins overall, maybe you squeak out one win on the road, which is what they were doing. But now that you drop a game at home and you lose that home win streak and you lose that dominance, it puts kind of pressure to get one on the road. And yes, Cincinnati is the closest geographic situation, but as you're saying, it's far from the easiest situation, or easy in general, maybe easiest comparison to Texas Tech and, UCF and whatever. But now that you lost one at home, it puts more pressure. You could argue for Cincinnati and West Virginia that game in Cincinnati is kind of a must-win for both teams.
I agree.
It could be a great game to watch, but a lot is on the line in that game.
All right, got to leave it there. Mike, thanks for jumping on with us today. I appreciate you giving me a couple minutes.
Absolutely, man. Have a great day, and we're going to have an entertaining game one way or another to check out here in a couple.
I think you're right. Mike Asti, WV Sports Now. By the way, talking about UCF, I've got the numbers here in front of me. UCF is 17-4 overall. They're 6-3 in the Big 12. Their losses in the league are to number 1 Arizona. They lost to Iowa State. There's no shame there. And Oklahoma State on the road. They have 3 quad 1 wins. They're 3-4 in quad 1 games. They have no quad 2, 3, or quad 4 losses. I mean, UCF's having a good season. All right, we'll hear from Ross Hodge in just a couple of minutes, but now let's do a 180-degree turn and check out Jeff Jenkins and today's edition of the Capitol Report.
This is the Metro News Capitol Report, brought to you by AARP West Virginia. AARP is your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Connect on social media at AARP West Virginia and learn more at aarp.org/WV. Today's report in 60 seconds.
AARP is your wise friend and fierce defender as you age. Life changes fast, and so do the challenges. Scams are getting more sophisticated, and caring for loved ones can feel overwhelming. That's why AARP is here. We're working to help you protect your hard-earned money, sharing tips and tools to help you spot frauds and scams. Every day we're supporting family caregivers and fighting for things like expanded affordable high-speed internet service and ensuring access to home and community-based services that are so critical to family caregivers. With 250,000 members in communities throughout the Mountain State, AARP is your trusted advocate at the state capitol and beyond, fighting for policies that make life better for older adults and their families. Everyone in the Mountain State needs someone in their corner. That someone is AARP. For more information, connect with us on social media at AARP West Virginia or find us online at aarp.org/WV.
The State Department of Education says it's becoming more difficult for county school boards to find school superintendents, so relaxing some state requirements may help. The Senate Education Committee passed a bill today that would allow school boards to hire a superintendent who lives in another county and will continue to live there after he or she is hired. Right now, code requires the superintendent live where they work or the next county over. Pleasants County Senator Trenton Barnhart says he agrees with the flexibility, but he doesn't want them to be too far away.
These superintendents are pillars of the community. I mean, they're people that have to go in and they have to run our systems efficiently and help provide a thorough and efficient education. That's critically important, but I do think we need to look at the requirement here, allowing them to be within 2 hours' drive.
The House of Delegates passed a pair of bills today that supporters say are needed so the state can get the more than $100 million promised by the federal government for rural health care. One bill requires additional training for doctors. Ohio County Delegate Sean Fluharty called it a slippery slope.
We're always talking about recruiting and retaining our best medical doctors. We struggle to do that, and I love the experts deciding what's necessary and not the government.
I'm Jeff Jenkins on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
There's a lot of noise out there about the market and the economy, but what's really important to you and your future? I'm Shelley Hustle, a member of Huntington Bank's local wealth team right here in West Virginia. Join us for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline as we discuss the most important topics and what they mean for you, your family, and your business. Join us on Thursday for Money Minutes, providing insight into the market and how it will impact us right here at home.
Hi, I'm Eli Henthorn, project surveyor at CEC. Starting my career at CEC was the best decision I ever made. I wanted to explore new areas in land surveying, and CEC offered just that. I've grown so much serving diverse markets and rapidly advancing my career, and it's more than just work. CEC is like family, supporting me every step of the way. CEC is where your career takes flight. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorough.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
On the next State of Minds.
People appreciate cool tattoos and they appreciate good tattoos. It's a way to make yourself different.
What do you think would fit me?
I think a ninja. A ninja with two swords.
All right, welcome back. 10 minutes till the hour. Going to be a busy night in college basketball around the Big 12 tonight. You've got 4 games. You don't have any matchups. There are multiple teams in the Big 12 that are ranked, but you have no games matching 2 ranked teams. You do have UCF at number 8, Houston. Colorado's at Baylor tonight. BYU, number 16 in the country, at Oklahoma State to take on the Cowboys. And Utah is hosting Arizona State. Ross Hodge, WVU's basketball coach, had a press availability earlier today. The Mountaineers have not been scoring a lot of points lately. In fact, if you take a look at their last 3 games and the loss at Arizona, only 53 points. In the win over K-State, Mountaineers scored less than 60 but won that game, 59-54. And then in the Baylor game, West Virginia did not shoot the ball especially well, and that's an understatement. And they lost to the Bears, arguably the most disappointing team in the Big 12 this year, 63-53. Mountaineers are going to try to get back on track Thursday night in Cincinnati against the UC Bearcats. It is a 7 o'clock tip on ESPN2. So the first question out of the box to Ross Hodge today, what did he see when he took a look back at the tape of the loss to Baylor? And also the following question is a good one about West Virginia. The quick starts that they were getting early in the season have suddenly disappeared for some reason. Here's Ross Hodge.
In that game in particular, I thought our defensive intensity to start the game wasn't at the level that it needs to be at when you're, facing the individual talent kind of that Baylor had. I thought we let Carr, his first 3 that he made was entirely too easy, and I think gave up 15 points in the first 4 minutes of the game. And then if you kind of do the math on the rest of the game into the last couple dunks they got, you probably only gave up 30 points, 35 points over the rest of the game. And so I just thought our defensive intensity to start wasn't good enough. And then, probably the 2 most important parts of the game that got you was the start. And then in the second half, when we did get it to 47-44, felt like it was kind of stuck on that score for about 6 minutes. We were getting stops, but we weren't able to mirror that with finishing. Finishing when we got the ball in some areas that we wanted to get it to, and then some costly turnovers during that stretch as well were probably the two areas that cost you in that game in particular.
You mentioned starts for several straight games. I mean, it's easy to say you got to get a start better, but is there a formula, or how do you build that in? Yeah,
for a large part of the season, we were getting off to really fast starts, and we were kind of having a harder time finishing. And then really started in the Arizona State game. We got off to a slow start there, Arizona, then you come back for the last 2 at home. And so it's a combination of a lot of different things that you're looking at. Obviously, we're evaluating that, and looking at it, and it's not just one singular issue. It's a lot of things. Some of it's personnel issues, some of it's coaching issues, some of it's not finishing and not, you are getting the ball where you want to get it early in these games, and maybe you're not making the play, and so then you got to evaluate as a coach, well, maybe that's not the best way to start these games. But everybody's kind of had their hand in it, across the board. If it was just kind of like one person that you felt like was creating the slow starts, well, maybe you wouldn't start that person, but it's kind of been a little bit of everybody's had their hand in it, and obviously we've talked about it and have looked at it specifically, like, hey, is it something particular that's causing it? And haven't kind of settled in on one thing in particular, just other than needing to get off to better starts.
That's Ross Hodge, West Virginia's basketball coach. One game I've got my eye on tonight is in the MAC. Miami is at Buffalo. Miami is 23rd in the nation. They are favored by 4.5 points tonight. They are 22-0. They are, alongside Arizona, the only Division I teams remaining undefeated. They win this game at Buffalo tonight, they'll be 23-0, and they'll be playing at Marshall this weekend. This is. We'll take a quick break, and we're coming back to wrap it up for the day in a moment.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post-9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing.
To get the help you need. To find peace. And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
It's 2 hours of sports conversation to wrap up your weekend. It's the CityNet Sunday Night Sports Line. Hey, this is Travis Jones. Join myself and Greg Hunter every Sunday night from 6:06 until 8 o'clock as we wrap up the sports weekend. We talk Mountaineers, high school, Mountain East Conference, and the latest in the national scene. The Sunday Sports Line is listener interactive. You can call or text the show at 304-TALK-304. It's a perfect weekend sports wrap-up on your favorite Metro News affiliate, or watch the show at WVMetroNews.com.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Moving Day, a walk for Parkinson's, is happening around the country. More than just a walk. Moving Day is a fun experience that unites the community in the fight against Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's doesn't stop, and neither will we. So let's get moving. Join the Parkinson's Foundation to learn more and register for an event in your area at movingdaywalk.org. That's movingdaywalk.org.
The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website, where first-hand accounts shared by U.S. military veterans are accessible to the public. Performing a search of the collection is easy. First, go to loc.gov/vets. Click Explore the Collections. Scroll down to Search the VHP Collections and click. Make sure you're searching this collection, and with simple keywords, you can find what you're looking for. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
Being isolated and lonely can be harmful to your health, resulting in high blood pressure, a greater risk of heart disease, and early onset dementia. So it's important to build and maintain social connections. Try a new hobby, volunteer, exercise, or use your phone or other device to stay in touch. Visit connecttoeffect.org to find resources and ways to stay connected. Presented by AARP Foundation with support from United Healthcare.
All right, folks, that's it for the show today. Thanks for listening, sending your answers to our question of the day and more. Stay tuned for the news at the top of the hour, and Sportsline is on the other side. My name's Dave Wheatley. I'll talk to you tomorrow, beginning at 3:06, right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Hotline on the Metro News Network is presented by Salango Law, salangolaw.com. Hear Hotline weekdays from 3 until 6 on this Metro News station or WVMetroNews.com. Visit the site or your favorite podcast service for past shows and features. This has been Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.